G'day, I'm Justin Potter. Today's date's the 16th of February 2025, and this morning I was on Colin Zafke's live stream with Jeff Parnell and Ellie Reno. So go over and watch Colin Zafke's channel. It's brilliant. And Colin Zafke's daughter is only 16, and she's been shunned by Jehovah's Witnesses because she no longer believes in the Jehovah's Witness religion, and is being shunned by her family and friends, and has lost her family and friends and community that she's known since she was born. She's been shunned, and she's attempted to take her life, but she's okay now, and Colin wants to have custody of his teenage daughter, so she's not going to be suicidal, and he will help her cope. Now, I was going to title this video, I want to talk about alcohol, and I want to talk about how I haven't had any alcohol since the 11th of July last year. Now, the 11th of July last year, I went to the pub and I had a nice pub lunch with my beautiful wife, Nicole, and I had a beer. I just had a schooner of VB, and I enjoyed the taste. It was all right, and it made my head feel numb. And I thought, oh, this beer is making my head feel really numb, because last year I only had 6 beers. Last year, all of 2024, I only had 6 beers, 2 at the most, and that usually go when I went down to the pub with my wife. We'd have a meal, and well, this year I haven't had any, and 2023, in the year 2023, I was completely sober, no alcohol at all in the year 2023, and no marijuana, because when I left the Jehovah's Witnesses in 2018, in 2019, I started to drink cannabis tea. I wouldn't smoke it, but I'd drink cannabis tea, and I was drinking cannabis tea for 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022, I gave up cannabis tea. Now, cannabis tea, I was addicted to alcohol, and I was also addicted to cannabis. And yes, cannabis is very addictive. Cannabis is addictive because I used to have a cup of cannabis tea probably about 5 days a week. And I would have had it 7 days a week, but I couldn't afford it, because for $50, I'd probably get $50, probably gave me about 4 cups of cannabis tea. 4 cups of cannabis tea, and I boiled the cannabis tea in coconut oil and water, because THC doesn't dissolve in water. So I was on cannabis from 2019 to 2022, and and my beautiful wife was okay with that. Nicole was okay with that, as long as I drank it, and I didn't drive, and it calmed me down from the shunning. And in that period, I did give up alcohol. So I gave up alcohol. In 2001, my wife bought me a home brew kit, because a lot of elders, I was never elder, but a lot of elders were doing home brew. In 2001, I was 40. And my wife bought me a home brew kit, and I went to the rubbish tip down the road, and I got 180 big bottles, 750 milliliter bottles, washed them out with bottle wash, and I was doing home brew. And I was drinking as a Jehovah's Witness from 2001 to 2018. I was drinking 7 days a week, and I was having 4 beers a day, at the minimum 4 beers a day, 7 days a week. So I was an alcoholic. And I gave up alcohol to impress my wife and get her ready for the big news that I was going to dissociate from Jehovah's Witnesses. And because I became sober and stopped drinking, because she was really worried about me, never reported me to the elders. And Jehovah never told the elders either. Jehovah never told the elders I was a alcoholic, but I was drinking 7 days a week, at least 4. On meeting nights, I'd come home from the meeting, usually depressed from the meetings because somebody upset me, and some nights I'd have 7 beers, 8 beers after a meeting. And Jehovah never gave me up. Jesus never gave me up to the elders, because they would have disfellowshipped me. So alcohol was a real problem. And then, as I said, I dissociated on the announcement was made on the 18th of September 2018, I'm no longer Jehovah's Witness. And my beautiful wife is a Jehovah's Witness. And a lot of people out there may think, well, how come, like, I'm an atheist. Agnostic atheist. I'm an agnostic atheist. And I have a Jehovah's Witness wife who went to the Kingdom Hall this morning doing cart witnessing practice. And my wife is allowed to do cart witnessing. I always thought it was pioneers, but no. If you're in good standing in the congregation, they put you on a roster. And you get... your turn comes up for cart witnessing. And Nikki's never done cart witnessing, so she has to practice standing by a cart, basically saying nothing. You can just play Candy Crush on your phone or watch jw.org, but you don't really say anything. You let the person who walks by pick a magazine. That's basically all. And you show them jw.org. So you don't say anything to people who are passing by. Now, I've watched a lot of cart witnessing videos and a lot of how it doesn't matter what you say. If you're an ex-Jehovah's Witness or you're a born-again Christian, it doesn't matter what you say to the Jehovah's Witnesses at the cart, you're not going to get through to them. You will not get through to them. And the reason why I say that, I showed my beautiful wife Nicole a video on Tony Morris, the governing body member, at the bottle shop. On YouTube, I showed her Tony Morris at the bottle shop, ordering 12 bottles of Macallan Scotch whiskey. And you know what my wife said to me? She goes, that's not Tony Morris, and that's not Tony Morris's voice. And Justin, the apostates have misled you. You have been misled by the apostates, Justin. You have been misled by the apostates. So, not Tony Morris, not his voice, but the apostate. Now, why would they do that? But you cannot get through. It's so hard to get through to somebody who, because what the brain does, when you have a religious belief, whatever you believe in, that you hold dear, it means you're going to see your dead loved ones in paradise again, you're going to have perfect health. You treasure those beliefs. When information comes into the brain that's contrary to your beliefs or contrary to what you've been told, your brain rejects it because it thinks, wait a minute, this information, even though it's true, the brain rejects it. The brain rejects it because it's more comfortable to have a happy delusion than cold, hard reality. And I think one of the reasons why my channel is not that popular with people is because I'm an atheist. And I talk about my atheism and I talk about why I don't believe in the Bible. So I'm not popular. And I'm not going to have many followers. I'm not going to have many subscribers. And I'm going to be lonely because people don't want to be told about atheism because it's a bit gloomy, and majority of people would rather choose the happy delusion than go with the cold, hard reality of atheism. And not many people can handle the cold, hard reality of atheism. They'd rather a happy delusion that makes them happy and gives them comfort, you know. So it's a totally, I understand it, and I don't care what people believe. I don't care. My wife remains a Jehovah's Witness. I'm still going to love her. My only issue is the two-witness rule, and blood transfusions, and of course the shunning. They got rid of those. Just get rid of those. It'd be just like any other religion, you know. I have no problem with religious people at all. And a lot of my friends are religious. I don't care, you know. Still be my friend. I just choose not to believe. And yeah, so the cart witnessing is basically you stand by the cart. Your name gets called on a roster. If you're in good standing in the congregation, you can go cart witnessing. And if anybody wants to debate you, you fold up your cart and you walk away. That's how they do it. And on YouTube, there's a lot of born-again Christians who would go up to Jehovah's Witnesses and try to convert them to Jesus, born-again Christian. And you're not going to do it. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what Bible scripture. The religious belief gives them comfort. They're in their comfort zone. They're not going to change their religious belief because it means they're going to lose so much if they do. And there's a guy on YouTube called Ted the Atheist. Now, Ted the Atheist, I think he's in California, Ted the Atheist, and he goes around on his push bike and he tries to convert. He talks to religious people and to atheism, you know, and it doesn't matter what he says. You cannot get through to someone who has a religious belief that they hold very dear to them. It gives them comfort, gives them hope, gives them community, gives them happiness. So you're just wasting your time. And now I'm a window cleaner, and Nicole has said to me that she'll smile and wave to me and blow me a kiss when I clean windows, and the other Jehovah's Witnesses will shun me. Because they believe by shunning me they're doing a loving thing, and you can't really get through to people who have religious beliefs because these religious beliefs are very dear to them, and give them a comfort and give them a hope and give them a purpose in life. Because I had one Baptist guy say to me, he said, Justin, he says, what's atheism ever given people? What's atheism ever given people? And I said reality, cold, hard reality. And I'm at peace with that. I'm at peace. And I don't mind being lonely. I don't mind being a recluse. I don't mind not having a lot of friends. I have a couple of really good friends in YouTube land. I have a couple of good friends in reality land, you know, close by. I have a couple of friends. I don't have a big community. I'm quite comfortable just being alone, you know. And that's the price you pay. That's your price you pay. And, you know, but there's not a lot to say about cart witnessing, though. A lot of Jehovah's Witnesses are quite tempted. No, a lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses can be tempted to converse with people at the cart. You can't get through. It doesn't matter what you say, and I never do. I did have a couple of experiences when I was window cleaning. I said hello to a sister. I said, "Oh, g'day, sister, such and such." And she goes, "Oh, we miss you, Justin. Come back to the meetings." She said, "Come back to the meetings and we can talk to you." And I said, "Well, I love truth, I said. She goes, "Well, come back to the truth." And I said, "I don't believe it's the truth, you know." And she said, "Bye, can't talk to you. come back, can't talk unless you come back to the meetings, can't talk to you. And I had an elder at the cart, and elder said to me, we miss you, Justin, we'd love to have you back at the meetings. And I said, I'm an atheist. And he said, atheist, bye, see you later. I had another Jehovah's Witness invite me to the memorial, and I say, well, I'm an atheist. And as soon as he heard the word atheist, bye, see you then, bye, see you. Just don't want to converse with you, tell them you're an atheist. And I do that with Jehovah's Witnesses. I tell them I'm an atheist because I believe Mother Nature is God. I believe that nature and what we see is God. That's reality. And God's not a person. God's not in human form. God is everywhere, and just nature, you know. And it's really funny, you know, there's a microscopic bacteria fluke that attacks the brains of ants. And what it does, it gets into an ant's brain and makes these ants climb up a grass stalk. Why would a whole troop of ants, army of ants, climb up a long blade of grass and sit at the top of the long blade of grass? Along comes a cow, and a cow eats the tops of the grass. The bacteria, the microscopic fluke, gets into the gut of the cow and reproduces. So this microscopic fluke has to get inside the stomach of the cow to reproduce. The cow poops, and ants walk over the cow poo, get their brains infected, and the cycle goes again. There is no advantage to the ant. No advantage to the ant. The only advantage is for the cow, who gets a meal of grass, and the microscopic fluke. There's another microscopic fluke, I've forgotten the name of it, but it infects the brains of mice. Now, if a mice goes near cat poo, this microscopic fluke gets into the brain of a mouse, hijacks the brain of a mouse, and turns the mouse into a mighty mouse, a fearless mighty mouse, and the mouse will attack a cat. A mouse will attack a cat because this microscopic fluke wants to get into the stomach of a cat. The only way it can get into the stomach of a cat is to hijack the brain of a mouse, turn it into mighty mouse, so the mouse attacks the cat, and the cat eats the mouse, ends up in the stomach of the cat, and reproduces, because these microscopic flukes have to get into the stomach of something to reproduce. So there's no benefit to the mouse at all. The mouse loses its life. The only one that benefits is the microscopic fluke, and the cat gets the meal, a bit like the governing body, fat cats. The governing body, fat cats, get a meal, get money, and us Jehovah's Witnesses, we're a bit like the mouse, and we're a bit like the ant. There's no benefit to us, but I suppose it's a comforting thought, life after death, life in paradise. Community, you know, but still, these microscopic flukes. And David Attenborough was once asked, you know, David Attenborough was Who's the Nature documentary man. He was asked once, why don't you ever give glory to God, you know, in your nature documentaries? And David Attenborough said, well, there's a fly that lays its eggs inside the eyes of African children, and the eggs go in the eye, and the worm eats the inside of the eye out and blinds these children. But the fly has to do that to get into the eyes of African children in Africa and bore out. I think it's called the screw worm. Not too sure. I think it's called the screw. But these maggots, these fly larvae, get inside the eye, eat the inside of the eye out, blind the child. No benefit to the child at all, but to the screw worm, it gets to reproduce. And the little grubs get a meal. They eat the kid's eye. And David Attenborough said that, you know, They're just the cruelty of an eagle. An eagle catches a monkey. I saw a nature documentary once. Eagle caught a monkey, flew off with the monkey and ate the monkey alive with its beak. Could you imagine being pecked to death with scissors, cut into with scissors? This bird's beak is hooked, eating a monkey alive, not putting it out of its misery, just eating the flesh of it while it's still alive. I saw another documentary of a Komodo dragon that you get in Indonesia, Komodo dragon, and this Komodo dragon walked up to a baby goat, a baby goat, just latched onto this goat's head and then swallowed the head, the baby goat, and then just swallowed the whole baby goat head first, and this baby goat went down the throat of the Komodo dragon. The Komodo dragon didn't bleed the goat, didn't drain out the blood like Jehovah wants us to do. And I tell my wife that blood transfusions, Komodo dragon can eat a whole baby goat and doesn't bleed the goat to death, just swallows a whole baby goat. And this little baby goat cried out in pain. Once the Komodo grabbed it by the head, the goat bleated out in pain. And every time you eat beef lasagna, you're causing animals suffering. And my beautiful wife, Nicole, would rather live with a sober atheist than a drunk Jehovah's Witness. So if you want to know why we have such a happy marriage, how come a Jehovah's Witness and an atheist have a happy marriage? The atheist has to live a good life, a moral life, a good, clean, moral life, a healthy life, to show that the religious people, the atheists, can still be good and clean and have a good living, I drink a lot of vegetable juices. I try to look after myself. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I don't take drugs. I don't drink. And she sees that and she says, well, he's a good man, So my wife would rather live with a sober atheist than a drunk Jehovah's Witness. And that's my little rant and rave on alcohol and, and cart witnessing, and why I don't see love in nature, in the natural world. Because every time imagine being born a chicken. Could you imagine being born a chicken? Chickens are just born to suffer. Chickens are born to suffer. So much suffering. Eat or be eaten, And I love meat. And here's another one. Seventh-day Adventists and Mormons don't drink alcohol. And doctors and medical doctors have recently discovered that even one glass of alcohol a day is not good for you. Even one glass of alcohol a day is not good for you. Alcohol can cause mouth cancer, stomach cancer, cancer of the esophagus. So even one glass of alcohol a day is not good for you. But if you want to have a glass of alcohol, go for it, Enjoy life. And I just choose to, now I'm going to be 64 soon, I want to live as long as I can. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much. And thanks for putting up with me for 24 minutes. Bye.